Hey everyone, this is Alexandra with Live Well Long, and today I'm excited to share with you a wonderful guest who's experienced in all things that make us live well long. She's an amazing person who's been reinventing herself since her divorce after 36 years of marriage. She's a mom of 3 and nana to 10 wonderful grandchildren, raising for 15 months to age 22. She runs a global makeup and skincare business online and also through social media. She loves volunteering for many charities, and she's a huge advocate for Sapria, which is a foundation that helps women who have been sexually abused. She's the official makeup artist for Ms. Tennessee, Senior America, and National Senior America, which I did not know about till I met her, which is really cool. And her goal in life is to help women find their confidence and live their best life unapologetically. No matter our age, she says, we all have gifts we can share, and we are never too old to start something new. And I love that. I love that. So everyone, please welcome Cynthia Duggar, also known as Sassy Glamour on Instagram. Welcome, Cynthia.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I mean, I noticed you on Instagram and I love your reels, and you're just, like it says, sassy glamour. You've got style and flair and very comfortable doing all kinds of fun things on your reels, which I love it. And you bring out a point with, I love your line in your bio, no matter our age, we all have gifts we can share, and we're never too old to start something new. That is so beautiful, because I really believe that. And yet so many times when we get to a certain stage in life, you and I are actually the same age, 67, we may feel we don't have much to offer anymore. Right. So what advice would you give to someone feeling that way?
Well, when I realized, I guess after turning 60, I was telling you a while ago, I always thought 60 was old. And then when you get there, you realize that you don't really feel old. I mean, we've put in a lot of years, but I never felt old. I never felt like I was past doing anything. And so I just decided, after I'd got a divorce after 36 years of marriage. And so at that point I knew it was either sink or swim. I'm like, I gotta figure out what it is that I want to do with the rest of my life. And do I want to just be defeated and say I'm just going to sit in my chair and not do anything, or am I going to get up and live life? And I decided that there was so much opportunity out there for us as senior women. And I entered a pageant. I did Miss Senior Tennessee at age 60, and never done a pageant before. And I just decided, I was going to do it. And not knowing much about it, my daughter had done pageants when she was younger. And I thought, I'm going to do this. But you know what that opportunity gave me? It connected me with so many women who are living life to the fullest, and we're enjoying each other's successes, we cry with each other, we laugh with each other. There was a lot of things that we had in common. And so doing that and stepping out of my comfort zone, I realized that we always need to be trying new things. And this is the point in our life when it should not matter what other people think about us, because we're all only going to be here on this earth for a short time. And I laugh sometimes. My daughter doesn't like me to, she didn't like me to say this, but I'm always saying I'm in my 4th quarter. And she's like, would you stop saying that, Mom? And I'm like, but I am. And if I get 80 plus, I feel like I'm going into overtime, and I hope that it's a long overtime. But we've got only so many years left to do what we want to do. And why do we want to sit on the sidelines and watch other people do the things? And so I'm all about trying new things. I'm all about just getting myself out there and just being an example. I want my grandchildren to look back at my life and say, you know what, Nana didn't sit down and just let life go by. She lived it
Right.
to the fullest. And if I can be an example to them,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. That's one of the reasons I do what I do is I want to leave a great legacy,
Right.
whatever I can in the way of, living life, like you say, just living life fully. Yes, indeed. Wow. So you mentioned that you became a makeup artist, and of course, how did you get involved with Miss Senior America pageants?
Well, I entered it when I turned 60, and
Right.
I got second runner up, and I got Miss Congeniality, which I'm so proud of that,
I
because
believe it. I could see that. That's
to
great.
just place in the pageant and to get that from my peers was an honor.
Right.
So then, I kind of decided, I this is probably not my thing, but I want to be a part of the pageant. So a good friend of mine won Miss Senior Tennessee in 2019, and we went to New Jersey. She
Mhm.
competed in Miss Senior America. Well, I tagged along with her and I did her makeup the whole time she was doing the pageant, and got her ready for everything. And the director of Tennessee, came to me and she's like, how would you like to be our makeup artist for Miss Senior Tennessee? And I said, I would love that, because, and nothing against younger makeup artists. This is in no way a pun against any of them. Everybody has their gifts, and but to do makeup on a 60 plus woman is a little bit different than doing it on a 20-year-old.
Ah,
Our skin is different. Our
mm,
skin, you can't do some of the things and take on the things. It just makes you look older. And
right.
so that was what I was trying to do with the contestants. I wanted them to look good, but I did not want them to look like they're just made up to look. A lot of times you can look older,
Mhm.
than what you really are. So anyway, I did that. I started doing for Tennessee, and then the director of the national pageant got wind of me, saw a video of me doing one of the contestants for Tennessee through a video thing, and she contacted me and she's like, would you like to come to nationals? So I went to Hershey, Pennsylvania last September, and I did several. There was 42 contestants. There's only one of me. I could only do so many. So I only took 12 out of the 42. I
Still a
had to
lot.
cut it off. So I did 12 women, and I did their makeup for their talent, their
Mm,
interview, for their evening gown, so it was over a 4-day event.
mhm.
So it's just, I connected with some women from all over the US,
Right.
and it was just really fun. But I'm not a makeup artist by trade. I've never been to school. I don't have this certificate or whatever. I just started doing it, and I do some weddings, I do proms, I do pageants, I do just local things, and I've
Mhm.
just self-taught, and I love seeing a before and after of what makeup can do. And a
Right.
lot of people will say, well, women don't need all of that. Well, maybe not. Maybe I don't know. Women, excuse, excuse me, women are just can be natural beauties.
Mhm.
But if a little makeup can make you look in the mirror and feel better about yourself
Yeah.
and make you smile back at yourself, I don't
Mhm.
see anything wrong with it. So
Yeah.
I use it as a tool to build confidence in women, and for them to see, oh, well, you do have beautiful eyes. Let's enhance them just a little bit.
Right.
Let's make your
Bring attention to them.
cheekbones. Right. Let's make
Right.
your cheekbones show up a little bit more. Let's define your lips and make them look plumper and fuller. So
Mhm.
I just started learning how to do those things, and
That's
I
great.
just I just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And
And I think your love of people, like you said, you won Miss Congeniality. So I think that carries it. That's what, I mean, and not that you're not excellent. I just mean that
yeah,
you pour yourself into their
right,
gifts and what needs could use enhancement. Yeah.
right.
Right. Right.
So
Absolutely.
I just enjoy doing the makeup and then just seeing the smile on their face after they see what they can achieve with it. And,
Right.
a lot of the women, they're like, you got to come to my house every day and do this because I'll never be able to do it myself.
Right. Right. Teach me,
And
teach me.
yeah, so I actually do online consults through video chat.
Oh, good.
So if somebody wants a one-on-one consultation for me, they're free.
Uh-huh.
And I just I look at your eye shape, I look at your face shape, I will show you how you can take certain products and you can just enhance what you have. And I
Mhm.
will give you my opinion on how to wear makeup to best suit your face shape.
Right.
And if you tell me, well, I'm not a big makeup person, I'm not going to do all this, let's do simple.
Yeah.
Let's start very simple.
Mhm.
I do those, and that's been fun because one-on-ones, it's hard to do when it's like you're in the US and somebody else in another state wants to get with you and you just can't travel everywhere. So it's
Right.
been fun to do that.
Right. That's great. Yeah, because that's where my mind went initially. I'm like, I have to set something up with her. So I'm glad to hear that.
It's yeah, it's fun to just to get, and you may not agree. You may try something that I suggest. It's like, it's not for me. I'm not
Right.
saying everything I tell everybody is something that they're going to agree with.
Right.
I'm just giving you my advice from what I've learned and what I've done. And
Mhm.
you just want to have fun with makeup
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah. And I agree with what you said about, just looking in the mirror and feeling good when you have some makeup on. When I was widowed at a young age and I had my sons were 4, 6, and 8. And so I was home a lot
Uh-huh.
alone, while I was raising the kids. And I got into the habit of just putting makeup on for me.
Yes.
So that if I looked in the mirror, I like, okay,
You're right.
and even looking in there and say, I love you, and then try to say it without laughing,
Exactly.
it's work.
A,
It
a
takes
dear
work.
friend of mine years ago, she she passed. She lived to be like 95, and one of the things that stuck with me with her, she was just always one of my best friends, even though she was 25 years older probably than me. And
Mhm.
I asked her one time, I said, what is your secret of um, getting up every day and feeling good about yourself? And I'll never forget it. She said, I get up every day and I put my makeup on, I fix my hair, and I put on some nice clothes. Why am I saving all of that? She said, you never know who's going to come by and ask you out to lunch. And she said,
Oh,
doesn't
I love
happen
it.
a lot, but she said, I always get up, and when I pass by that mirror, she had this big mirror, how the older houses and stuff, they had the big mirror in the living room,
Yes.
a
Yeah.
lot of my grandmother had one,
Yeah.
and pass by, and she's like, when I pass by that big mirror in my living room, I want to look and be proud of what I see. And that just kind of stuck
Excellent.
with me. And I thought, makes sense,
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
good about you. And when
Exactly.
you look in the mirror, like what you see.
Right. And like with the work I've been doing with coaching, it's really, it starts with self-love to be able to
Mhm.
bring anything into the world where you're feeling good about your contributions to the world. It starts with self-love.
It
It's
does.
we can't spread it unless we feel it first. So we really have to keep that balance with making sure we're doing what we can in the area of self-care and self-love and seeing, okay, what do I need? What does my soul need? What would make me happy? What can I do today that I can do that lifts me up? And
And
definitely.
if you don't love yourself, you can't give love to others. And it starts with that love for you. And there
Yeah.
is nothing wrong with some self-love and you pouring into you. this is, I think this is a lot that happens with a lot of women, especially in their 60s. They provided for their families, and they are smack dab wore out by the time they get 60. They have
Right.
not, and they've not spent any time loving on themselves or
Yes.
doing anything for them. And
Right.
I was there. I was always the wife, the mother, the grandmother, and it's like
Right.
I did not do anything for me.
Mhm.
And you got to start putting yourself first a little bit.
Right.
I do a self-care Sunday. That is the day, I'm going to do something, whether it's a hot bath, it's, sit back and listen to something positive. But every Sunday at some point, usually it's a Sunday evening late, I'm going to do some self-care for me. And I talk about that a lot in my stories and in Instagram, whatever. Self-care is so important.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Absolutely. It begins there is, and even, and it starts with like everything we want in life. We have to focus on our health and well-being first, which is begins with self-care. And then from there, we can do the vocation, the relationships, the
Right.
whatever it is we want in our life that would make us happy. But if we don't start with ourselves, it's
Yes.
not,
You're
not
going to
fun.
lose. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of sink, and you just like, and it causes you to, look at other people, and, um, you I don't want to use the word jealous, but it's a comparison that you have. You might see somebody else and they just seem all put together and stuff, and instead of saying, I need to know what she's doing to make myself better, we
Right.
tend to like, well, well, she thinks she's all that or whatever.
Right. Right.
And that is, and I always, now it's like I want to clap for everybody. If this woman's got it together more than me,
Mhm.
bravo! I am glad. I want to learn from her.
Exactly. Let her teach me. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's why through the Miss Senior America pageant and meeting all those women and stuff, I mean, they all had, they have to do a talent, and they have a philosophy of life, and they have to recite it. And listening to those, and been able to talk to those women and see where they've come from and what they've done. I wanted to just I want to know everything. Tell me, what did
Yeah.
you do? How did you survive that? Um, what are your top things that you can tell me, that
Right.
that that you really live your philosophy, and that this is something that you passionately believe in. So
Yeah.
I have some of them now that if I get kind of down in the dumps and whatever,
Mhm.
I will reach out to them. I'm like, okay, I need that philosophy. I need you to talk to me and tell me what, feed some positivity into me, because we
Right.
all go, we get there. We
Yeah.
have bad days. We have people that say unkind things. And let me
Mhm.
just tell you, if you're on social media at all and you put yourself out there, you are going to have some haters show up and some
Mhm.
people be rude. It
Right.
happens, and I've had to get a little bit tough skin, and uh, I'm thinking, how do people just come up and say those kinds of things?
Right.
Um,
Right.
but I learned, not everybody's happy. Not everybody is going to clap for everybody else. Not everybody wants to see success in other women. Not everybody is going um, to to shine, and stand for something positive.
Right.
So you just have to keep going in spite of what the world offers. So let me tell you, the world, how the world can be, and
Not everybody is on,
yeah,
nice and loving. Yeah.
right,
And what I do know is that often it's in their case, it's a statement of their low self-esteem if they're attacking others,
exactly.
their own
It's
victimhood.
it's not a it's not
Yeah.
about you.
Not
It's
about you.
about them. And
Yeah.
and so I usually reply with something really loving,
Mm.
and because I want them to see my heart and see that
Yeah.
I'm not going to snap back and I'm not going to get on that level. So um,
Mhm.
the things that your true character, will show through, especially through things on social media that happen to you.
Mhm.
And I think that's it's easier as you're an adult, and I'm older, so I can see through a lot. But I feel sorry sometimes for the younger generation because it's very hard for them
Yes,
to
yes,
discern and to love back on people, even though they've been, rude to them. So
right, right,
um,
yeah,
it's they just got to keep that self love going to where they know that it doesn't matter what sticks are thrown at them. They're going to
right.
be okay.
Ignore the haters as best they can. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Wow. So you mentioned about your the charity that you is your favorite charity. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Um, yes, and the charity is called Sapria, and
Mm.
it's formerly the Unique Foundation. And actually, it is the reason that my company was even formed. When my company started, they didn't know what they were going to do. They just knew what their charity was and what they wanted to see happen.
Right.
It's to help women who have been sexually abused, and there's 1 in 4 women in the world that
Mhm.
are sexually abused,
That's
and
hot.
I never really gave that much thought until I started growing my network and my team with this company.
Mhm.
And as I started, I was 10% of everything that we sell automatically goes to the foundation, and then we can give to it as monthly donors or whatever, which I do, and which I
Mhm.
help in fundraisers for the organization, because there's a retreat that there's 2 now. We have one up in the mountains of Utah and one in Georgia.
Mhm.
Anybody can apply to go to the retreats, and they give you all the tools with counseling, with
Mhm.
um, all of the they really treat you like a queen the whole time you're there,
Right.
with great meals, just all kinds of fun activities and things just to help you start your healing process. And so there's all you have to do is get there. And
Mhm.
so I did not realize the depth of it until like I said, I started building my team, and women started coming to me that had joined and had said, I'm one of those 1 in 4. I'd really like to get to the retreat. And I'm like, okay, we'll get you there.
Right.
So I started, if anybody came to me that wanted to get there and wanted to get the healing, I made sure that had the airfare, they had what they needed to get to to do that. I mean, that was my goal, is to help
Mhm.
these women.
Right.
And so through I've been with the company 9 years, and there have been 12 women on my team directly who have come to me and said that they were 1 in 4. And some of them I have got to help get to the retreat, and some of them have said I'm not ready, and I hope and pray that they finally do get the
Mhm.
healing. Some of them come to me and they've never even told their husbands that what went on with them in their life. There's a lot of secrets out there when it comes to
Yeah.
this subject, and I did not realize it so much. But there is a website, sapria.org, that you can go to. You do not have to
SAP.
be, you don't have
It's
to
SA.
be sorry,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I was going to spell it for our listeners if anyone
okay,
wants.
SAPREA, Sapria. Um, we
Dot
can
org.
put that, can we
Yeah.
put that in the link? Make sure that I get
Yeah.
that right.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be anything associated with my company to go. In fact, there's more people that go to get the healing that are not part of the company than are.
Mhm.
But that really opened my eyes up to see the secrets and the what's been hidden with so many women, um, on the sexual abuse when they were younger. And I just never thought about that. And
Right. Right.
and when people close to me come to me, you would never know it from the outside.
Right.
And so I've just become an advocate for it,
Mhm.
and I try to talk about it as much as possible. And you don't ever know. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to put this post out there, and I'm going to put this out there. You don't know who is struggling, and you don't know what somebody else's story is.
Right.
And I think once we go through our um, everything that we're doing, if we do it with some purpose, to know that there's people out there that may need what we have, or is maybe have been looking for this and didn't know it was there,
Right.
um, then you just feel like it just brings your work that you're doing, kind of,
Yeah.
it just
Make
makes it all make sense.
Right. It makes it all the better knowing that you're not
Yeah.
only helping people look good on the outside, but also
Right,
the inside,
right. And
which is
they do have also on that website, there's links where how to talk to your children,
mm,
um, so that if they are getting confronted by somebody who in a bad way, sexually or whatever,
right.
how to teach your children the signs and what to tell, and,
Right.
how to deal with it. It's not something that's just going away. It happens all the time, and most of the time, I forget the percentage, but most of the time it is someone in the household or someone in the family that is doing the abuse. And
So there's
it's
no
it's
escape. Yeah.
right. It's these people in their family that these kids are trusting. And it's just kind of goes, and um these kids are told to not say anything. And
Right.
so there's resources there for that as well.
That's
And
excellent.
it really opened my eyes to, when I started having grandchildren and stuff, and I would read some of the stories of some of these moms would tell about, when they were little. And I would look at my little granddaughter, and I would think, oh, I just can't imagine someone doing
Right.
that to her. So
Right.
it's just a really, really good program. And
Excellent.
so if you're listening and you're 1 in 4, and you've lost hope, and you think, I don't know where to turn, and this is eating away at me on the inside,
Right.
just reach out to me or go to the website, and they are very discreet, to help
Beautiful.
and there's ways that we can get you to the retreat.
Yeah. When my sons were little, and I mentioned widow, they were 4, 6, and 8. And as they were growing up, I was a single parent. Sometimes I just needed a break, and they said, "Oh, can I go sleep at so and so's house?" And I'm like, "Oh wow, I need a break. This would be good." But I'd
Uh,
be like, I'd tell them, and I kind of prompt them, like, make sure no one ever touches you, and blah blah blah, and I,
right.
yeah, mom, okay, mom, but yeah, it's a concern. It's a concern
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
is. And we don't realize how big a problem it can be. And we just need education is key.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Wow. So let's talk about how people can reach you. Let's see, we talked about they can email you.
Uh-huh.
So your email address is and we're going to put this in the show notes, but in case
Okay.
anyone is listening and wants to jot it down, it's C Duggar. Her name is Cynthia Duggar. So it's C Duggar 2355 at Gmail.
Uh-huh.
And you can also reach her at, if you're on Instagram, sassy.glamma. That's SASSY.GLAMMA. And also there is a website that goes directly to the company website, which is lovelonglashes.com.
And you can email me on that lovelonglashes.com. There's a way it'll
uh-huh.
say contact me
Okay.
individually, and it will go directly to me.
Okay, great. And then we talked about, you had something that you wanted to offer guests that if they wanted to reach out to you, so you want to share what that is?
I do. I would love to do some consultations. If you're interested in doing a consultation with me, they're free. But if you're interested, if you go on lovelonglashes.com and you go through products and you look at some things and you think I'd like to try this, or I would like some information on this, and or whatever, I'm going to offer 25% off of any order. You would need to order that directly through me. So you can go shopping on the website and you can make your little list of what things that you might want, and then contact me. I will order them for you with the discount, and then I can just invoice you separately and send you the tracking number for everything that's, it'll be shipped directly to you. So yes, I
They
would
can
love
email you through the website email, or should they email you separately through your own?
I would probably do through the Gmail would probably be
Okay.
easiest, but either way, I should, I should
Yeah.
get it.
Mhm.
And also, if you want my top 3 tips that I give women over 60 on how their skin to look better with or without makeup, I would love to share with you my top 3 tips. And so I can give you those. If you want to send me some information, I just have 3 quick tips that I can tell you that will make your makeup look better, your skin look better. And these will not cost you anything really to do.
Gosh, that sounds like, that's like, why wouldn't
Yeah,
anyone do that, right?
right, right. It's not going to cost you anything. I can give you some good tips on some things that I use that I think would enhance it, but I can tell you some things that you can do that will make your skin look better. And whatever age you are, even if you're not 60, I mean, I know listen, after 40 and 50, when the change started in menopause, and women wake up one day and they're like, where did that breakout come from? Where did that dryness come from? I've always been oily. What happened?
Right.
I can help you with some things that will kind of transition you through the aging process. And our skin is changing all the time. And
Yeah.
what you did in your 20s, you can't do it as you get older. And so lots of things. It's funny because sometimes I would do a consultation and they're like, well, I've always done it that way. And I'm like, I know, but let's think about this. You're not
Right.
25 anymore,
Right. Right.
Women are creatures of habit though, aren't they? Aren't we?
Yes. Yes. It's true. It's true. I feel like if I follow my routine, okay, the morning starts out good,
Right. And then,
But sometimes our routines need upgrading, right?
and if you try something new and you look in the mirror and you're not used to seeing yourself look like
Mhm.
that, it's hard
Right.
to accept sometimes. And I know when I first drew brows on my face, I thought, holy, I look like, it's like, what in the world? Because I wasn't used to seeing myself with brows.
Right. Right.
And then now when I don't wear brows, I'm thinking, well,
Something's missing,
you look
huh?
like death. But
Oh, I hear you.
it's just all in getting into a routine and habit, or of some things that you can do, but be open to change.
Yeah.
Change is inevitable for aging, and not just in a physical appearance, but in our mental, and the way that we just go through everyday life. Don't get so set on, okay, it's always been done this way, or I've got to do this way. This is nothing is set in stone. Just have fun with it. Try things, new things, and
Mhm.
just enjoy the journey. And if you can do that and laugh at yourself, I look back on some of the makeup routines or in videos I did even 5-6 years ago, and I thought,
Mhm.
why would anybody listen to her? That was
Well,
just
we get better and
outrageous.
better. The more we do it, we get better and better,
Yeah.
right?
So any time that you're trying something new,
Mhm.
you got to practice, and you got to, and you got to just stay with it. And that's just, life is that way. We got to stay, we just got to keep going and just keep showing up every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And try to, I posted something in my social media the other day about, don't compare yourself to others, compare you today to you yesterday. I might just make a little bit of more improvement in some area or couple area, whatever we can do to just, how can I move this forward? Yeah.
Yeah. The only competition you have is you, that you're seeing in the mirror. What other people say doesn't matter. I listen to, there's a favorite guy, and I'll just plug him. He's no longer with us, but Jim Rohn.
I used to love Jim.
Rohn. And one thing that he always said, and even today, when I get to feeling like I'm just like defeated a little bit, I'll go listen to him. But he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
Right.
And that sticks with me. And so when I feel defeated, or I feel like that I'm not good enough, it's not anything that I can't do better. I can make myself better, and I can keep my head up and keep trying. And I think just in the human realm of things, sometimes we look for easy, like, okay, well, I'm gonna.
It'd be nice if we could, right? Just enjoy life and coast along. But I say getting older is not for sissies, It's like
it's not. And it takes a lot of getting up in the morning and moving forward and pushing yourself, and you look in the mirror some mornings and you're like, where did that wrinkle come from? Oh my gosh. And I'm a face sleeper, and I'm trying not to, but sometimes I'll sleep on one side, especially like this, and I'm like, okay, there's this extra wrinkle that showed up right there. Now I've got to do something, but that's life. And I've earned every bit of them. So I just laugh and go on, and I smile, and just I'm going to embrace those lines and those wrinkles. But I can't show you how to make them a little less noticeable.
There you go. There you go. Get more mileage out of it, right?
Right. Well, we gotta, you only got one. This is what everybody's going to see, and you've only got one. Okay. So we got to take care of it. And the only good thing I can tell you is if when you do die and you're laying back in your casket and stuff, gravity's going to be good, and all that's going to go back. So
that'll be our best day, right?
A good thing. And then they can look at you and say, well, don't she look good?
Right.
But it's because all the wrinkles are going to go back like that.
I love it. I love your sense of humor,
But in the meantime, embrace the wrinkles and go with it,
That's right. The wrinkles are a sign that we're still vertical.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we've got lots of wisdom, the wisdom of the ages.
We do have more than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so share what you learn. And I know my granddaughter, she gets tired sometimes. She's like, oh no, here's Nana's another story. And I'll try to tell her something. But I overheard her one day, and she's 17, and I overheard her. And she was telling one of her friends, she said, that's my Nana. She's the one on Instagram. She does all these reels and stuff, and she's like, you may want to go follow her. She can be fun. And I'm like,
nice.
That is the best compliment that a 17-year-old will tell a friend. Go follow my Nana over on Instagram. And so I can always know she's watching me. She's always liking. She'll say a whole lot, but she's liking and stuff. And every once in a while, she'll send me a message, and she's like, that was a good one, Nana. That was a good one. And so she will remember me doing that kind of thing. And doing the reels and stuff. And I laughed I told my daughter this past weekend, I said, just think of all the memories you're going to have of me. Just keep my Instagram and Facebook going, and y'all can go watch me anytime you want to.
Right. That's great. That's Great, I know. Well, that's what I think about too, because I do, as you know, Instagram and different videos and posts, and I'm like, well, hopefully my grandchildren will look on it long after I'm gone. They want to remember my philosophy or opinion or thoughts, or just, hear me talk. Hopefully
Well,
they'll remember.
the only bad thing is, who knows in the next 25 years or 10 years even what's going to be out there. All of that may be obsolete and it may be gone and we can never find it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
hopefully not. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I hear you.
think about what's happened with us over our 67 years. I mean, there
Right.
was, I had black and white TV. Do you remember getting your first TV? I
I
remember.
do. I remember our first color TV. And it
Remember
was so
that?
low to the ground. For some reason, it was like 6 inches off the floor. I don't know
Right.
why that was the style then. And we were all like sitting on the couch looking down at the TV.
And no remote. No remote.
Yes, right, right.
And if Dad would say, get up, go turn the volume up, and there was no remote. So many things that I remember that this generation will.
You have the rabbit ears, and sometimes we'd attach foil to the rabbit ears and attach it to a wire and the shower or something to get better reception.
Yeah, and we had 3 channels, I think, and we all watched the same thing. There was no, we all had to decide what we're going to watch, and we watched it.
Right.
There was just so much more togetherness back then because we weren't separated with so much social media and things like that.
I remember we used to visit my grandparents. We lived in Long Island, and my mother's parents lived in Bloomfield, New Jersey. And sometimes we'd visit for Sunday, like Sunday dinner. And we would be so nervous because we wanted to watch Walt Disney. I think he was on like 7 or 7:30 on Sunday nights. We were always like, we either needed to leave early enough so we could be home in time to watch it, or we had to leave after it, and all the kids would be like, come on, what are we doing?
I know.
Stressing about it. Now people don't have to worry about that. They just watch whatever they want, whenever they want to watch it.
Well, all the daytime stories, As the World Turns, General Hospital. Remember all those, when,
Yes.
Well, my mom was into all of that. You had to plan your day around the 30 minutes for this show and the 30 minutes or the hour,
Right.
and, you got to be quiet. She's going to watch her show. You didn't go anywhere or whatever. And now you're right. Well, you can watch anytime you want to at your convenience. You can replay the football games, the sports, whatever.
Take it with you wherever on your device. You don't even have to be home. It's like,
I know. They don't realize how lucky they are. We were really primitive back then, weren't we?
Right. And even with cell phones versus, we had to be home in time to get a phone call. What if they call and I'm not home?
I know. And a party line, I asked my granddaughter the other day, I said, you know what a party line is? And she's like, is that a line to get into a party? And I'm like, no, and so they don't know what, what that is. And I said, do you know what it means to be kind and rewind? And she's like, well, I guess you want to rewind your brain and feel better, and I'm like, no.
Right. On the videos, right? The videotapes. Right. That's right. I forgot that was always on the videotapes, right?
Yeah. Be kind and rewind, and you got charged more money if you took it and you hadn't rewound the video,
Oh, and I remember, forgetting to bring them back, and, it would be a week later or whatever. And, we'd have this huge bill at the video store because we didn't repair in time. Yeah.
Lots
I
of
won't
good
say
memories.
those are the good old days. This definitely is much easier now where we're at.
It is, but sometimes I think it's taken away a lot of the togetherness and a lot of the I don't know. I just think there's a distance with families and because everybody can have everything individually, and they don't have to do things as a family and all that. So some pros and some cons to all of it, but
it requires us to be more forthright in structuring. Like I know, especially the little ones, little kids, I mean, they start having iPads, usually
yeah.
like 2 years old or something, and they know what to do, and and then
Well, they
there's
go, my
dance.
my
Yeah,
15-month-old knows to do this when she picks up the
just
phone.
swipe them.
I'm like,
She
how does
knows how
she
to
know
swipe
that?
'em. She knows it. Yeah. Yeah. And then so it's a challenge because we still, have to manage so that they understand, family time versus, iPad time. And it's a challenge. The little ones are not too excited about that structure, but it's part of life. They have to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Gosh. Well, this has been,
a part of me is really glad that I'm not raising a family during
yes,
this
yes,
social media time.
yeah,
I don't know that I could keep up with everybody's
yeah,
social media and what they're doing. I don't envy my kids raising their
right.
children with all of
Yeah.
this.
This is a
And
tough time. It's definitely a tougher time
mhm,
for young families for sure. So
right.
it's good that they have folks like you to as an example of wisdom and
Well,
good luck on top of it.
well, you try and I've learned that with this generation that it's more or less they got to see it and be told. They don't want to be told, well, you can or can't do this. And sometimes you
Yeah,
just, you're using examples of things and you're just kind of, I call it coming in the back door with it. It's like you got to kind of give them some information about it without it seem like you're telling them they can't do that. And,
right.
it's because sometimes if I see something on my grandchildren's social media,
Mhm.
I'm not going to call them out on it there. That's not my
Right,
place. But,
right.
you know, there's protocol on how to go about it because I mean they're learning too, and
Yeah.
it's just so much out there that
Mhm.
they can get really in trouble fast if they're not
Right.
careful.
Yeah, it definitely requires vigilance on the parents' part, the family part. And yeah, I remember my mother saying when my kids were younger and I was, struggling with how to discipline. And one of the things she said, which was good, is like she found that distraction works better. Like, okay, well, let's go do this now, as opposed to telling them not to do whatever that thing was, even though you want them to know we're
Right.
not doing that. But
Right.
some other, always having something to look forward to that
Yes.
they'll be more willing to engage in,
Yes.
and
Yes.
yeah,
And that
it's a dance. It's a real dance.
oh, I can't imagine being a parent right now. I'm just glad I'm with the grandparent
Right,
point in
right.
my
You just love on them
involvement.
and let it be, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This has been so wonderful. So I'll put the information in the show notes. So listeners, if you're remember, she's at sassy.glamma on Instagram
Mhm.
and lovelonglashes.com. And you can also reach out to her at cduggar2355@gmail.com. And be sure to reach out to her for a free consultation and your 25% off. And also your top 3 tips for women over 60, how to look your best with or
Yeah.
without makeup. This is fun.
I would love to share those. We're not going to tell everything we know here. We need to
Right.
have a
That's
little bit
right.
of something that you can look forward to. But I am working on a newsletter. Hopefully, it's going to be ready to go in 2023.
Mhm.
That is something that has been on my to-do list, and hopefully that's going to take place soon. So just reach out to me, and you can get on my email list. And I am compiling that as far as for my newsletter and that kind of thing. And hopefully it's not going to take so long. But I'm I'm not as the whiz as some of the younger ones are, and I've had to go out and get a little help, with
Right,
some of
right,
them.
right.
But I'm not ashamed to say it. I mean, there's people who are smarter than me on the social media end and on the even the just websites and things like that. And I'm okay to ask people to help me.
Yeah, well, your Instagram channel is amazing. You know, your the things that you do on there, I was like, how did she do that? How did she do that?
We, I
Great.
started that back in February, and I only had like 500 followers, and then I had a few viral reels
Uh-huh.
go viral. Well, let me tell you, Easter of this year, I got hacked on Instagram. They took my Instagram. I could not get in. I had over 25,000 followers. I could not get in. Um, I don't know. I thought I was going to have to give up on it. I
Oh, wow.
did. I had a dear lady who was a friend of mine on Facebook that her boyfriend worked in fraud for social media, and he said, "I know exactly what's happened to her. Tell her to contact me." Do you know
Oh,
they had got into my Instagram and put a keylogger into my account? So every time I changed my password and phone number, everything in there, when I tried to redo it, they went immediately and they were changing it back because they were seeing what I was using.
oh,
Um,
wow.
I had to completely delete Instagram off my phone, empty my phone of everything back to factory settings. I had to go in on another device and get back into Instagram because they could- they could- they had hacked into my phone more than they had my account. I
Yeah.
had to get LifeLock. They had got into my bank account. They had got
Oh
into
my gosh.
all of
Yeah.
they were getting my passwords. It was a nightmare. And so at that point, you get really, really tired and you think, is this even worth it? Because
Right.
these
Yeah.
hackers. But I thought I've worked too hard. I'm not going to let this, if I have to start over, I'll start over.
Mm.
So the guy helped me. We got it all put back together, and knock on wood, so far it's been really good. But
Yeah.
just don't just be careful on any social media and stuff. Sometimes you can open something and it be completely, you think, legit,
Get
and
malware. Yeah.
and it's make sure you've got some some antivirus things
Yeah.
on your phone.
Mhm.
And LifeLock has a thing now for social media. So all my
Mhm.
social media is tied to LifeLock as well. And if
Mhm.
anybody tries to get into any of my social media, they flag it. So
Yeah.
that's a new thing that they have.
Protected. Good. Good.
It's like that's money that I had to spend to do that, but peace of mind.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
I have enjoyed growing it over there and meeting new people, and just like you. And I mean, there's just been so many blessings that have has came from it. I've actually met a lady in California, and we chat all the time. And I live in a little town called Waverly, Tennessee, which is where Loretta Lynn, her hometown, is where I was
Uh-huh.
raised. Hurricane Mills, Tennessee is Loretta Lynn's home place. And,
Right.
Loretta just passed away. Um, but I grew up with her and her family, and, I
Oh,
know
you
all of
actually knew
them.
her. You actually knew her.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
cool. Yeah.
And so this lady I had posted some things about Loretta, and she's like, she is just one of my all-time favorites.
Mhm.
And so she wants to come and visit the home place. And, I said, oh, I would love to come to California and visit. you know, she showed me pictures of her place. But it's like sometimes you just connect with people, to
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you have so much in common. But it's, a lot of people are real leery of things like that, but I think I think you can kind of sometimes you can tell if people are really who they
Legit.
say they are
Yeah.
by,
Yeah.
you know. But
Right.
anyway, but yeah, it's just a small little rural area here, and
Wow.
we have
Nice.
really mourned her passing, and her children and her grandchildren. It's not been a easy thing,
Mhm.
losing her, because she's just always been right here in our little hometown and been a part
Right.
of our lives. I mean, I think they moved here when I was I was in elementary school, maybe third, fourth grade or something.
Mhm.
So it's been a long time that she's
You've
been in
known
this.
each other a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
special. That's special. Wow. Well, this has been an amazing conversation. We touched on a lot of different things,
we
which
did.
all part of it, which is great. I'm sure our listeners are going to love it because there's so many different things we've talked about, raising kids and grandchildren, being influences and building up a nice legacy for them.
Right,
And
right.
as well as looking great for over 40. I said over 40. Okay, over 40, over 60, anywhere in
Look
there. We want to take care of
look,
our aging faces. Well, they're not
look in the
aging.
mirror, look in the mirror and just love what you see, always.
Exactly. Well, you look amazing. You do look
Oh,
amazing. And
you're
I'm
so
definitely
sweet.
going to
Thank
set up
you.
something with you. And who knows, maybe we'll even do it and record it.
There you
And
go.
that would be a
Yeah,
great follow-up
we
to
can do
this.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can do a consultation and do a mini makeover session, and just that would be
yeah.
fun. That would be so
That would
fun,
be fun.
you know?
That'd be fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Cool. Well, this is wonderful. And everyone has the information. So thank you so much. This has been great. And we'll stay connected.
Well, I appreciate you so much. It just means the world that you sought me out and that you had me on your show and that I got to, talk about some of the things that I'm passionate about and
Mm.
just kind of share, especially about Sapria. And, I just want to encourage women, no matter what age you are, where you come from, your past does not determine your future. And no matter what you've been through, you can shine and you can be the brightness that you are meant to be. We all have special gifts and we all have things that we can contribute in this world. So don't ever think it's because you've reached another birthday that it's too late. And just keep shining because you are so worth it. And you will be. You never know who you are going to influence and who is looking to you. And that's what's the one thing that has come to me several times. Somebody would say, thank you for, just showing up and being there, because I had given up on me and you
Right.
you showed me that I didn't need to do that. So you don't know who's watching and you don't know what their story is. So just be that bright spot for somebody else. And we all got this. We're all in this together. We got it.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you so, so much.
You're
Thank you so,
welcome.
so much.